What is up, everybody? Today we're going to be going through the best farming route that you guys can currently do in Black Ops Cold War. Personally, I think this is probably the best strategy to go. And first off, we're going to be starting with a very short clip of me going through the exact doors that you guys should be opening. And once that is done, I'll be showing you guys that you guys should spend your scraps and also your points once you guys earn those. So I'll be showing you guys a clip of every single door that you guys should open then, and then we'll get onto that.
Strange. The door opens on its own, as if to welcome us, like Lazarus risen from the dead.
Looks like our intel was solid. Whatever Omega Group did here would cause the other dimensional breaches we've encountered. You remember anything relevant about your old Nazi stomping grounds?
I had heard stories about expansion into dimensional research, but that's all.
Alright, so once you guys are all done that, we're going to be moving on to our strategies. Now, I got two little kind of schematics here to show you guys what you guys should be doing. And yeah, hopefully it's not too difficult to understand. But with here, our best strategy with points, we're going to be going through every single perk and pap that you guys should be spending on. And then I'll be telling you guys why this is this and why you should be doing that. So every single game, I'd like to start off with Stamina Up. Once you guys open the first door, you guys will see Stamina Up upstairs and Knocked. Always start out with Stamina Up because it increases your survivability by a whole bunch, just because you'll be running at max speed. And if you guys do have Stamina Up upgraded, this will be helping you to navigate the map much quicker and getting all those steps much faster. And in a whole lot, Stamina Up is probably the best perk in the game right now. And nothing really arguable in that. It's just a really good perk. Second off, what you're going to be spending your points on is Jug. Now, Jug here in the early rounds isn't that necessary, but I still feel like it's a pretty important perk since, you know, you get that 250 health upgrade, and the dogs can become pretty hard on the first round, and usually that's where you kind of get fucked on the first round. So try to get Jug for dogs, and then, you know, Jug pretty much does itself the rest of the work. Moving on from there, I like to usually get Jug and then move on to my first pap weapon. Usually if you guys are running like a shotgun or something like that, pap really helps with the reload speed, and that's why we don't really go for speed cola straight up, because you'll be reloading a couple of bullets per round as well. And then I don't know, it just pretty much replaces speed cola, even though speed cola also we'll get on that later, but I don't feel like it's the best perk to have right now in the game. So get that pap upgrade and get that damage boost, and then we'll be moving on to quick revive. Now, quick revive in this game is actually really good. It gives you guys a pretty big boost on health regen, and that's why Jug and quick revive are probably like one of the best combos to have right now in the game, since if you get hit once and you have a max quick revive on tier 3, like this thing just regens your health to the max in like 2 seconds of waiting time. It's really absurd, and I feel like it's a really necessary perk to have. You could go on and switch up Jug and quick revive in these two spots here, but I still feel like Jug is more important than quick revive at this spot, since here you'll be having more health, and then once you get quick revive, you'll be regenerating that health faster. So it's going to be much better in this kind of order, and that's why I feel like quick revive is just probably one of the best perks right now. Once you get quick revive, you pretty much have your 3 base perks that you want to have for the entire game. Like this is kind of like the main set things that I put up top here, because this is kind of just the most important ones that you should be having in the early game. And then once you move on from quick revive, you pretty much are going to be farming for a 15k for pap tier 2. The reason why I go for pap tier 2 here is another just huge boost in damage. I feel like, you know, with the rarities and everything, you really want to go for that boost of damage for your guns as quickly as possible, because the zombies scale quite quickly with the bosses. So it just really helps to have that damage upgrade. And then, you know, if you guys don't have your rarity upgrades so far, which we will be getting to right after this, you're going to really want to be getting that pap tier 2. So once you get a pap tier 2, now here I put speed cola or deadshot, because it really doesn't matter which one you go for. Me personally, I'd always go for Deadshot first because I don't feel like Speed Cola is that much of a necessary perk in this game because you do reload faster with it, but over the years they've made it that you just reload much faster with pretty much every gun that you have in the game, and they just have a much faster base reload speed. And I feel like over the years speed cola has become a little bit more irrelevant, but it is still very good if you guys are using, once again, LMG, shotgun, stuff like that. So yes, you could go speed cola or Deadshot. Usually I'd get these two maybe before my PAP tier 3, or you could just go one and then move straight on the PAP tier 3. So once you get that perk, move on to PAP tier 3. PAP tier 3 is just the biggest boost of damage that you're going to be getting out in the entire game. I think the PAP tier 3 probably boosts your damage more than the rarity upgrades as well. So PAP tier 3 really comes in clutch here once you get all of those 4 perks, and then once you gain this upgrade, you're pretty much set to go for like a high round or anything like that, and you can just pretty much finish up your stuff. You'll always be pretty much acquiring this before you gain your legendary rarity, so just a little thing to keep in mind there. Then once you're done with PAP tier 3, you can go on, finish off with elemental pop or fizz, whatever it's called, and I usually always finish with this because it's not the most useful perk in the game. It's kind of like the weapon mods. I usually do put weapon mods on my gun, but it kind of comes into the same kind of category as this. So once you're done with PAP tier 3, buy elemental pop, you can go and put some weapon mods on your gun, and just finish your entire perk set and just kind of get set for the late game there. All right, so moving on to the tiers. Now, it's probably the most confusing new thing that they've put into zombies, and I think that I've found a pretty good strategy on how to spend your scraps the most efficiently possible to optimize your damage and your health at the same time. So this kind of comes into play with the other page here on why I put armor so late into the upgrades, because the perks and quick revive with jug and the life regen is really going to come into play here with how I spend my scraps on my armor, and how I pretty much go for damage first above everything. So usually what you want to do is spend all your green scraps first on your tier 1 and tier 2 guns, because this is probably like the best damage upgrade that you could get in the early game before you get to PAP, or at the same time as you get to your first PAP gun, because it's the uncommon version of your gun, which is basically the base version that you'll be starting your loadout with in the game. Usually just falls off really quick towards like round probably 4 or 5, so it really depends. Although if you're using the Spaz 12, you can still get away with not doing this kind of, because the Spaz 12 is kind of busted right now, but I still feel like if you're running the Spaz 12, this is your best option to go for right here. Yeah, you're going to want to go into a tier 1 and to a tier 2, and then once you're done with these upgrades, the reason why I do both of these first is because once you use both of these, you won't really need green scraps for the rest of the game after, and so I'd usually go tier 1, tier 2 gun, and then use my leftovers on the green after to go for my armor from tier 1 to tier 2, and then straight up go from tier 3 to tier 4 on the blue scraps. Because once you're done with the 2 tiers of each gun and armor, you'll be coming into the blue scrap zone, which is the rare scrap that you get much later in the rounds, which is towards like around 20. I think it's towards the 20s, and that's pretty much where you're going to start earning those blue scraps much more. So once you stop upgrading from tier 1 and tier 2 armor, you pretty much enter into blue scrap zone, and then this is where I usually save up my blue scraps from going to weapon tier 3 and to a weapon tier 4, because once you're at this point over here, you already have 2 bars of armor and you have your jug and quick revive, and so I feel like you're much I think it is just much more valuable to go this route, because you already have a lot of health and a lot of armor, and you're just missing 1 tick of armor here that costs 250 scraps and sets you back a whole 250 from that big damage boost from these 2 rarities here. So that's why I'd usually go from tier 3, tier 4, get that big damage boost with tier 3 pack-a-punch, which pretty much max out your damage for the rest of the game, and then you could go for that extra tier 3 armor at the end with for a 250 blue scraps. And so I feel like it's just much more worth it to wait for the last one for the tier 3 armor to just go for last. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my 2 little kind of schematics here. It took me quite a while to do, so yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. And if you guys would want me to kind of link these in the descriptions, if you guys want these, I could save them up for you guys. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.